the Outer Banks Women's Club humbly asks our current Board of Commissioners to do the same and recognize April 21st, 2021 as the Outer Banks Women's Club Day. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dare County Board of Commissioners, in grateful recognition of the important volunteer services that are performed by the Outer Banks Women's Club, hereby proclaims April 21st as the Outer Banks Women's Club Day. This the 19th day of April, 2021.
Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the board.
Thank you.
We moved here in 1968, and two of my children started school at Kitty Hawk School. They immediately started wanting me to go to PTA meetings, and I did. So Tanya Barkley and Marjorie White and I got together to form a women's club because we had this nucleus of all of the people around in the area, and they were the ones that knew what was needed and were willing to work for it. So we got the telephone book, which if it was a person's name, then we sent to Mrs. and told them that we wanted to form a women's club and affiliate it with the General Federation of Women's Clubs. The John Yancey told us that we could have their meeting room for this meeting. So we invited everybody that was in the telephone book to come. They did come, and it was close to 100 people that showed up. And that was the beginning.
With the club's first meeting in 1971, these ladies jumped right into fundraising and held a fashion show and dance 2 months later. The fashion show and a Monte Carlo night became annual events. In 1975, they held their first annual Senior Arts and Crafts Fair, with proceeds going back to the seniors to help with living expenses and property taxes. And although the setup is a bit different, the senior fair still continues today, 45 plus years later. In 1977, the first annual Christmas Arts and Crafts Festival was added, and that's another one that continues today. Over the years, we've continued with arts and crafts fairs, published 4 cookbooks, held fish fries, bake sales, a variety show, participated in Belk Charity Days, Christmas wreath sales, White House ornament sales, and even raffled off a quilt.
We donated a handmade quilt to the NC Aquarium for a raffle that raised over $10,000. Wow. That's quite a quilt.
In 2020, we had to get creative because of the pandemic and held a 2020 Summer Sizzle raffle. Today, we continue with the Spring, Christmas, and Senior Arts and Crafts Fairs, White House ornament sales, cookbook sales, and enjoy getting creative to add new events.
The Outer Banks Women's Club is a member of the General Federation of Women's Clubs of North Carolina, serving under the International General Federation of Women's Clubs, the largest women's volunteer organization in the world. For 50 years, OBWC club members have been committed to living the volunteer spirit through community service projects and fundraising. Service projects are related to 5 community service programs: arts and culture, civic engagement and outreach, education and libraries, environment, and health and wellness. Club members assist with the planning and completion of a multitude of service projects related to these themes. It is our goal to support and give back to the sandbar we call home in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So, cheers to 50 years.
Hello, my name is Jean Pratt, and I'm president of the Outer Banks Women's Club. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Arts and Cultural CSP, which promotes and supports the arts within our community. This involves sponsoring of art and literature contests for local students and club members, assisting with the orientation of foreign students, and organizing craft supplies for at-home projects for completion by the children. Donations are also made to the International Student Outreach Program, the Dare County Arts Council, and the Outer Banks Forum.
Our CSP leads projects that create a better quality of life and a sense of community. Some of the projects that we've worked on this year include projects to support those who are food insecure in our community. We provide volunteers for Food for Thought, where we pack bags of food for children who are hungry. And we also do food drives to support the Beach Food Pantry. We support our military and veterans by making up care packages for veterans, which we drop off at Spring Arbor. And we also collect items for OBX Blue Star Mothers, which are included in care packages for our servicemen and women. In addition, we provide support to those who are dealing with sexual abuse and domestic violence by providing volunteers to work at the Hotline thrift stores. And we also provide items that they use at their Crisis Intervention Center and Safe House.
Our partnership with the Outer Banks Women's Club goes as far back as 1984. They've been huge supporters of the Outer Banks Hotline. They provide volunteers. They were one of the first partnerships we started when we built our new shelter, and they've helped support one of the rooms in our shelter since 1984. Yeah, the Outer Banks has been lucky to have an amazing group like the Outer Banks Women's Club around for 50 years. They've been a huge supporter of the community and a huge supporter of the Outer Banks Hotline.
Some of the organizations that we provide financial support to in the OBX include Interfaith Community Outreach, the Outer Banks Relief Fund, Hotline, and the Beach Food Pantry.
The Environment Committee promotes and supports projects that encourage us to become stewards of the earth. We do collections of mascara wands, corks, and shoes for recycling projects, planting of beach grass, and hosting of beach cleanups, and support of the annual Trash Attack community event. We make donations to NEST, Network for Endangered Sea Turtles, Outer Banks Center for Dolphin Research, Elizabethan Gardens, and Better Beaches OBX.
My name is Terry Nelson. I'm the chair of the Education and Library CSP. Our main focus is on literacy. We have a little free library that we maintain at Dowdy Park. We gift board books to each newborn born at Outer Banks Hospital, and we host events such as a Dr. Seuss birthday party in celebration of Read Across America Day. We fund college scholarships through 2 local foundations, and we also make cash donations to the KDH Library, the DARE Literacy Council, and the Children and Youth Partnership.
Hello, I'm Valerie Morton, and I'm the chairperson for this Health and Wellness CSP. Our focus is to promote and support projects to improve the overall health and wellness and well-being of our members and our community. Weekly exercise activities and meditation are provided for our club members. So we call these sensations. We get out and enjoy the beautiful Outer Banks, walking on the beach and enjoying our beautiful parks. We are involved in many of the local charity events, and we participate in them and provide support. Donations have been made to Saving Life Task Force, the Girls and Boys Clubs of North Carolina, and the Caswell Development Center.
I'm Joan Brady Stevens from the Outer Banks Women's Club. I'm first vice president, and I am delighted to speak to you about our club's Angel Gift program. Since we began the program in partnership with Dare County Social Services back in 1987, we've been providing what we call a complete Christmas for families struggling to give presents to their children at Christmas time. We've helped between 200 and 300 children each year, and the program has evolved over the years, but we have never wavered in our commitment. When the program started, Dare County Social Services approved and interviewed the families. Since that time, our members have gotten more involved in the process. We not only do the interviews with the families, but then we assist with the adoptions. We set up multiple angel gift trees throughout the community. Then we take in all the presents, and then we deliver them to the families. It wouldn't be possible without the support of the community. We have individuals helping us, we have businesses, we have other nonprofits, and then we also have the churches that help us out. This past year we exceeded every previous year because of the generosity of the community.
I'm Lee Brinkley with the Dare County Department of Health and Human Services, and for over 30 years we've been able to partner with the Outer Banks Women's Club. This is another great program that the Outer Banks Women's Club provides in the Outer Banks.
think basically the most rewarding during my presidency was when we did the resuscitation bags for the pediatric children. We gave a bag for each one of the ambulances, and we also did the helicopter. It was just a wonderful program, and I was very happy to have done it.
I followed Lucille in the presidency, and we had such a good working relationship. It was a lot of fun. During my tenure, we started Facebook, and I believe that's 10 years now that we've had great success with the Facebook page and followers, not just members, but the community is well aware of our presence because of the page. We also instituted the club website, and that too has grown and changed, but it's a wonderful recruiting tool, and we are out there.
Hey, I'm Ann Rust, and I'm one of the new members here of the Outer Banks Women's Club. What I've found is a group of devoted, caring, involved women who've made a difference in this community already and who I expect will continue to make a difference.
Happy birthday! This is Crystal O'Neill, the president of GFWC of North Carolina, wishing the Outer Banks Women's Club a very happy birthday. It's my honor to share a birth year with you, and I'm excited that we've both been around for 50 years. Thanks to Ann Lamb for being behind this club from day one, and for all of the people who've come along since then to make a huge impact on the community in the Outer Banks, on our state of North Carolina, on our federation, and the world. You are the perfect example of what living the volunteer spirit is all about.
It's been a wonderful experience. I first met Lucille McGrath and I said I'd really like to join some kind of a club, and she said, I've got the perfect club for you, and it was Outer Banks Women's Club. I certainly would recommend it to anyone coming new to the area. It's great to be an Outer Banks Women's Club member.